You will not believe that. Alaska, a land of ice, mystery, and untamed wilderness. In 1979, deep within its frozen soil, miners searching for gold unearthed something far older and far rarer than any treasure they'd imagined. What they found wasn't gold, but a creature, frozen, solid. It was covered in icy soil, its shape difficult to see at first. But what lay before them was a near-perfect time capsule from the Ice Age. It was a steppe bison, massive, silent, preserved for more than 50,000 years. Its discovery would become one of the most extraordinary paleontological finds in North American history, and its story stranger than fiction. Because years later, this ancient beast would become the centerpiece of one of the most bizarre meals ever served in modern times. They called it Blue Babe. The name Blue Babe wasn't chosen at random. The bison's preserved hide had turned a peculiar shade of bluish gray, caused by a mineral called vivianite, which forms when iron in the body reacts with phosphate in the surrounding soil. To the scientists, the color resembled something mythical, so they borrowed the name from Paul Bunyan's legendary blue ox, Babe, a fitting tribute to a creature frozen in myth-like preservation. Blue Babe was a male steppe bison, Bison priscus, an extinct species that roamed much of Europe, Asia, and North America during the Pleistocene epoch. Larger and more robust than the modern-day bison, these creatures shared the tundra with woolly mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and early humans. But this particular bison's fate was sealed by something with teeth and claws. Across its flank were deep punctures and tearing wounds. Claw marks. A forensic story frozen into its flesh. All signs pointed to a large Ice Age predator, possibly a cave lion, maybe even a short-faced bear. Whatever it was, it attacked with power and precision. But Blue Babe didn't rot or decay like most creatures. He froze quickly. The brutal Alaskan cold preserved his tissues, his organs, his very muscles, allowing researchers, thousands of years later, to touch a piece of the ancient past. Leading the scientific study of Blue Babe was paleontologist R. Dale Guthrie from the University of Alaska. Under his guidance, researchers examined the carcass with reverence and excitement. This wasn't just fossilized bone. It was a full mummy with skin, fur, even ligaments and neck muscles. Radiocarbon dating placed Blue Babe's death at roughly 36,000 to 50,000 years ago. That's before the invention of writing, before the first pyramid, before the last Ice Age reached its peak. For scientists, this find was priceless. It gave them insight into Ice Age ecology, predator-prey interactions, and permafrost preservation. But as the research continued, Dr. Guthrie began to wonder, could Blue Babe offer one more experience? Not just for science, but for curiosity. In 1984, after years of research, Dr. Guthrie and a group of colleagues decided to prepare a special meal, a stew, made with a piece of Blue Babe's neck muscle. Yes, they cooked and ate part of a 50,000-year-old frozen bison. They weren't reckless. The meat was tested. The sample was small. It had been preserved better than most ancient remains thanks to the extreme cold. With a careful recipe of garlic, onion, vegetables, and red wine, the scientists prepared a dish that had never been tasted before and likely never will again. The aroma was earthy, a little strong. The texture, tough, chewy, but edible. Some described it as well-aged, gamey, and surprisingly flavorful. Others were less enthusiastic, but no one at the table forgot what they were tasting. A bite of the Ice Age. It wasn't done for fame or spectacle. There was no press conference, no cameras, just a private moment shared among a small team who had spent years examining Blue Babe. For them, the stew was a celebration, a ritual, a way to connect more deeply with the life they had studied so intensely. Still, the story sparked curiosity when it later surfaced in interviews and scientific publications. Was it ethical? Was it necessary?